All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or whatever, depending, depending on how your day's going already. Mine's a mixed bag. It can be, yeah, is it good? Yeah, but it's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst either. So that's important. Take a look at that. So, hello, welcome in, everyone. I do need to pick my rings out, so let me do that real quick. And no matter what I do or say, the TikTok will ding me if I put anything up here. I got dinged yesterday, so no more dinging. Hello, Crimson. Hello, welcome in. Morning foggy Northern California. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. It's 4 degrees here in my world. So that's cold. Oh my gosh. Hello. Yes. Tosh. Hello. Welcome. So again, I kind of, depending on how I'm feeling, do some lunch and learns, which is what this one will be here. Sometimes the middle of the day is the best time for me. So that's what's going on here. Let me get my rings again. Ooh, I really like the poppy. Let's do that one again because that was really pretty. Let me see here. All right, so what am I looking? I'm wanting to do cold. 46. Whoa. Charge under the fact the actor going into a church order. Yeah, that was a strategic. That was a weird, and everybody else. That was a weird situation. That was a weird situation. I'm not sure what he would have violated, right? The key to it is, did he have permission? And if not, was he only in the public area? Is another question. And so, he should be able to go where other people go. But I did see the interview that he did. He was just smacking that person around. Smacking him around like, whatever, dude. Hi, Dolores. Hello, June Marie. Welcome. Wait, hi, Michael. Lumpy Blankets. Always good to see you. So it'll be interesting. I first of all, I'm not surprised. Second, I'm not surprised. So he's like suing everybody. If he could sue the Vatican for not explaining proper attire during a funeral. He's just kind of a, yeah, he's kind of a, you know what I'm saying. Hello. Oh, I'm trying to find rings. I don't know, everybody. I don't know. I got a yellow one here. I don't know. That might be too much. Might be too much. I don't know. Yes, so that's that rumor, and in fact, I don't have a hard time believing that that's true. If it's false, it's false, but it's definitely possible that it is happening. So I'll give it a couple of those. Vintage law books from estate sales are wild. Oh my gosh, Taylorina, take a wagon, right? Take a wagon. Or, like, what's a wagon? I know, old school terms, but take a wagon and like a back brace if you're going to do that. And because, yeah, that's a lot. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. All right, I'm really struggling here to find the proper rings. So we're gonna make it. It'll be all right. Hello, Bay Grandma. Hello. Wow, I am really struggling here. Okay, I'm gonna go big. Go big or go home, right? So we're gonna go big. All right. That's the best I can do here. Yes, indeed. Go big, that's right. Happy Monday. Yikes. Yes. So, I know. Today's a bit of a struggle. Well, I hope the weather or the view outside your window's lovely. For sure. That's got to be a good thing, right? I went outside for a few minutes just to check the weather and make sure that what my people were doing was okay. And no, it's not okay to be outside. It's not okay, even with hot cocoa. Is he in Canada? I don't know. That's a good question, though, isn't it? That's a really good question. Right, the fascist. Yikes. Oh, right, wind chill. I'm not even comfortable assessing that. Wind chill. Yikes. Oh my gosh. So there's so much going on here, everybody. So I thought today, of course, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, however that is set up in other places. Well, here I have been promising the Dred Scott decision. So I thought, well, this will be the perfect day to look at some history here of the country. We have, I don't know, maybe I would say maybe top three cases that were the worst decisions ever made, and so of course Dred Scott is one of them. Korematsu is another. Citizens United would be the third one. Well, I suppose we could do the immunity case as the fourth one. So these are just top awful cases where the Supreme Court was like, I don't know, being able to use their brains apparently. So these are some tough ones, tough cases here to go through, but important. So I did already start going through Dred Scott with everyone. I will just do a summary here, but do want to get into the majority opinion this time because, we didn't get to it last time. So now, as it goes, everyone, I have been doing this and it's been so much fun for me. I don't know about you, but it's been fun for me. So if we hit 100,000 likes, then I will do a bonus case. All right. And the bonus cases have been so fun. Oh my goodness gracious. Today's bonus case is amazing. Anti-American. Well, I feel like in all honesty, quite frankly, I feel like there have been a lot of people who have been justices who have been anti-American. So we've had a lot of that going on for a while. So that's been going. Hello, Toodle. Welcome. What if we hit 200K? I've got another case I can do. I've got a whole stack of cases. So and I think even for the TikTok, like if you go back, I've done hundreds of cases in the early years. So if you're interested, you can type in the case that you're looking at, and then you should be able to find it. Just put my name in there. Let me close this. Close this door up a little bit. There we go. Get the lighting going. Whew. All right, here we go. Again, this will be our Dred Scott case. Let me write out a sticky note here so everybody knows. Again, though, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I've always done something since I was a kid to kind of celebrate. And so today I'm thinking, why not? Why not celebrate all together? All right. Are we going to use green today? Man, I'm not feeling it with the green. I don't know. Here's green. We'll see. We'll see how it works here. Tapping is clapping. Thank you very much. Yes. So this case, let me just write it out here again. One of the most famous cases and most difficult. And the reason why, of course, is because in this case, the U.S. Supreme Court decided, if people were people or not. And some people are not full people. And so, of course, that's awful. So we have to kind of slug our way through it. But if you want to know the entire history of the United States, you can follow it through the court cases. Some of the most atrocious court cases set out what the country's going through at the time, whether it's the war or some segregation issues, whatever it is. If you look to the courts, then you'll say, oh my gosh, that's what's been going on here in the country. So some people are like, I don't know, what do they call it? Critical race theory, I guess. I don't even know what the name of it is, but history of the country are kind of like, we're not going to teach about that. It's like, well, I mean, it's just simple history here. If people feel bad about it, too bad, you know? I mean, that's every country has its too badness. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Kimber. Uh, it's a graduate level. Oh, really? Okay, Val. Yeah, I mean, I never got anything like that because apparently I went to school in the 1900s. So, so that's how that went. Too many people loyal to the crown. Ooh, Kristen, I think you might be right. All right, so here's the case, everyone. Let's get her started here. This is one of course, our oldest cases. And so when you're looking to find it yourself regarding a citation and such, it gets a little complicated. So what I recommend here, rather than searching through for a citation that could be difficult to really put out there, I recommend just putting in Dred Scott. If you put Dred Scott and then opinion, and then try PDF, and then try Library of Congress, and that's where you will find the actual case itself. In case you're looking. The other thing too, of course, is oye.org. And one of my very favorite websites that is freaking amazing. It's a really great resource for people. So highly recommend that as well. And they will have usually the full decision. They'll do a summary, and the full decision will be, you'll be able to kind of click on it and find it as we go. Stationary problem. Yes. All right, let's see. What year are we? We're in 1856, right? So 1856, let's write that down. 1856 is when this was decided. And we will say 1864 is when the Civil War ended, pretty much. So let's write that here. So end of Civil War. Here's Civil War. Right? So this case was done almost 10 years before. And I think that makes a difference. I really do. The next case that we have in our series is Plessy versus Ferguson, which was 1896. So that was 30 years later. But this case, it's just barely getting through the court system before the Civil War. And many people say this was what it was that tipped us the last piece, was a holding by the U.S. Supreme Court. And some people were saying, this is it. You are not even allowing people to describe themselves as people. And then we needed to go into the war. So some people say this was one of the biggest influencing, but you'll have to decide for yourself. It's a very, thank you, the big grandma. It's a very, it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call because we've got the highest court in the land coming in here and saying, there are humans that live here, but they're not people. That's like, what? So let's give it a go here. Now, I have done a full live on this before where I'm just hitting the highlights. So I do want to go through 1 through 5 here, and then which has the most information, the background in the summary here. And then after we get through 5, I will flip into the heart of the majority opinion here. All right. Oh, thank you so much. Good to see you too. Is that a chicken or is that a hawk? Is that a turkey? I'm sorry, I'm looking at your little sign here. Oh, the heart. Oh, it's a lady holding a heart. Oh, that's pretty. Woohoo. Love that. Sorry. Sorry, I was like, is that a chicken from my perspective? And I was way off. All right. Lovely, lovely. Sorry about that. SCOTUS greatest hits and misses, because this one would be a miss. All right, here we go. Diving in. Upon a writ of error to a circuit court of the United States, the transcript of the record of all the proceedings in the case is brought before this court. and is open to its inspection and revision. This is a jurisdiction question. Can the Supreme Court even hear this case? Which, of course, is the number one defense that the administration is putting on most of its cases, saying you don't even have jurisdiction here. So that's a big one. They've got a couple of big ones, but jurisdiction's pretty big. So judge is saying, hey, we do have that. When a plea to jurisdiction in abatement is overruled by the court upon demur, yikes, and the defendant pleads in bar, and upon these pleas, the final judgment of the court in his favor. If the plaintiff brings a writ of error, the judgment of the court upon the plea in abatement is before this court, although it was in favor of the plaintiff. And if the court erred in overruling it and the judgment was in favor of the plaintiff, and if the court erred, overruling it, I'm one sentence off. And you can see these are teeny sentences here. So down here, so the judgment must be reversed. And a mandate issued to the circuit court to dismiss the case must be reversed. For want of jurisdiction. For some reason, this paragraph did not want to be read. So, whoopsies. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Sorry about that one, but, the whole point of it is jurisdiction back in 1856. So we'll let it go. I have a really hard time with this N-word, everyone. I know it's not like the biggest of the N-words, but this N-word bothers me so much, and I don't know why, but I cannot bring myself to say that word, so I'll probably just say N-word, all right? And then hopefully everyone can follow along with me there. But so offensive to me personally. So a free person of the African race whose ancestors were brought to this country and sold as slaves is not a citizen within the meaning of the Constitution of the United States. So that's a big one. They're not a person. When the Constitution was adopted, they were not regarded in any of the states as members of the community, which constituted the state, and were not numbered among its people or citizens. Now, slavery is discussed, I think, 2 or 3 times before the Civil War, when it came to escaped people, indentured servants. So that we had a lot of things actually set out in the article regarding whether or not and what you can do with that situation. So it is in the Constitution. And then, of course, after the Civil War, we have the 14th, 15th, and 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. The 13th Amendment ended slavery, except for as a punishment for a crime. And then the 14th Amendment gave equal protection to everybody and due process at the state level and so on. So there were a lot of things that changed after the Civil War, to just clarify everything. But that was not present here. This is before the 14th Amendment here. Hello, Casey. Welcome. Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate that. All right, so they're not people that are citizens because Madison apparently wasn't thinking of that when he was writing up the original Constitution. I will say, going in and looking at the Federalist and Anti-Federalist papers, you will see you cannot get around slavery in the United States. You can't. You cannot do history without acknowledging slavery. It's just facts. If you feel bad about it, maybe that's okay, because then you'll be like, that can't happen again. And you're also a human, and I think that's great too. But in the end, if you think about all the countries around the world, It can be it's awful looking at your past, right? So look at the past in the UK. I mean, they've got tons of stuff that are really difficult to go through and understand. Oh, thank you. Amazing Amanda's lives. Oh, I don't know about that. But I certainly have a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite places to be. Oh my gosh. All right. So as we go through this, again, everyone, we will be talking about slavery, right? Because that's just how things were in this country. It's just like, you can say that that's not what happened, but then you'd be wrong. So embrace it and learn from it so that we don't repeat it. Would be the only thing I would say. So next up, consequently, the special rights and immunities guaranteed to the citizens do not apply to them. So we have several pieces in the Constitution that go up to the 12th Amendment that set out some, excuse me, privileges and immunities for different citizens. All right. Now, not for citizens of different states. That comes in the 14th Amendment. So that's not there yet, but there are some. And there are some provisions on voting that have been put in as well before the 14th Amendment. So, a lot went into that. Hi, Carol. Hello, Bruce Wayne's mother. Hello. So the first thing here is to say they've got no special rights and immunities, right? So that would be, in my opinion, due process under the Fifth Amendment. So they had no right to due process. And that means they can't even bring a case. So, and I'll come back to that. Again, everybody remember, if we hit 100,000, I will do a bonus case today. So here we go. And not being, quote, citizens within the meaning of the Constitution, they are not entitled to sue in that character in a court of the United States, and the circuit court has not jurisdiction to such a suit. So they're saying you can't even bring a suit because you're not a citizen. Right now, if you look back at the history of all the peoples bringing the lawsuits, this didn't stop anything. This wasn't like, I guess we can't bring a lawsuit. No, not true at all. Yes, the dissents, Jonathan, the dissents in this one are amazing. But the majority opinion just really, it sucks. Here we go, continuing on, number 6. The only 2 clauses in the Constitution which point to this race treat them as persons whom it was morally lawful to deal in as articles of property and to hold as slaves. So, right? I mean, that's awful. Since the adoption of the Constitution of the United States, no state can by any subsequent law make a foreigner or any other description of persons, citizens of the United States, nor entitle them to the rights and privileges accrued to citizens by that instrument. All right, so we're going to pause here, right? So again, just to acknowledge that this is what's going on here. This is the history piece. So let's bump into the state situation, which is why the 14th Amendment's written the way it is, quite frankly. A state, by its laws passed since the adoption of the Constitution, may put a foreigner or any other description of persons upon a footing with its own citizens, as to all the rights and privileges enjoyed by them within its dominion and by its laws, but that will not make him a citizen of the United States, nor entitle him to sue in its courts, nor any of the privileges and immunities of citizens in another state. So this is the give it back to the states, right? Give it back to the states from this administration. Like everything should be decided by the states. And where is that set out? Well, it's set out in Dred Scott. All right, hold on here. I got to get a map. I set out on my map so that they would be right at my fingertips. So, of course, they're not. All right, hold on here. Let me get my maps. No, that's not it. Oh my gosh, really? Come on. Oh, here they are. Oh, look. That's not cool. They were right on the top. Whew. All right, here we go. Let's look at a couple maps here. Because when it comes to the Civil War, a lot of people will say, well, it's about property, it's about land, right? Because we had, this is 1854, so this would have been 2 years before the Dred Scott decision. All right, sorry everybody. I have to get a lozenge here. Right, so this was, again, just a couple years. This whole situation, a lot of people, again, try to say that it's about land. And I suppose to some degree that's true, that it does have to do with land. Oh, thanks, Big Grandma. Was the only one that went to law school and the decision was interesting, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, this case is so huge because of all of the dissents. And there's, I think, a couple of concurring opinions, but they're not playing around. There are a lot of people that are really, were upset about this. So let me just take you through why this is not about land. I mean, it's a little bit about land, but not really. All right. There were, as we know, first of all, this stuff over here, these states have not been added to the Constitution yet, or added to the country. All right, they're still working on that. What happened was we had a Kansas here being like, dude, we don't want to be, I think it was, they didn't want to be a free state. What had happened was that each state got to pick. Did you want to be a slave state or did you want to be a free state? The part, though, that really gets you is that they wanted to make sure it was even so that they had the same number of free states up here as they had in the South for slave states. So if another state came into the Union, and we're still building the country here, right? If another state came into the Union, they were going to be either free or slave state, and the state could decide which way they wanted to go, but they also had to assess which who was up, right? Are you up here? Is Kansas up for a slave state or a free state? Which one's up here? And this one, the Indian Territory. I say that only because that's what's printed here, not to be rude and offensive. And we're in here. We also have the Missouri Compromise over here. So I know, very, very gross. Yes, very, very gross. Yes, well, in the land. Oh my gosh, don't get me started on the land for our indigenous peoples. So right now, during the time of the Dred Scott, we have Illinois here. Oh my gosh, am I going to mess this up? Hold on. That's Illinois. This is Wisconsin. This is Michigan here and here. And this one, is it Illinois? The further out I get, the less I know, and I feel bad about it, but not bad enough to learn it. So, Ohio, and what was the other one that I just said? Indiana. I don't know. Indiana, Ohio. Yay, we got it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Okay, Illinois is left of Indiana. Okay, so Indiana. For all my Indiana peeps out there, my bad. I can't. I can't know everything. Oh, all right. So the point is, these are our free states and slave states here. So if you were hanging out in a slave state with your slaves, and you went up into one of the free states, like this one, which is Illinois, right? That's Illinois, isn't it? Ohio and then Indiana. Okay, so this is Indiana. Anyway, the point is, one of the pink states, right? Then, there's no slavery there. They're free. They're free people. And then if you go back, you become a slave again. And then back up here, now you're a people. So what happened with Dred Scott, right? I'll go through here some of the verbiage. What happened with Dred Scott was he was down here in the slave states with the fella that was his, boss, whatever. And then he got a new boss because his old boss kicked the bucket. And so Scott had a wife and children. And so the next person in the situation was like, all right. And they moved up and down over through the free states and the slave states. So the second dude kicked the bucket. I believe it was the second dude. The first dude didn't have him very long, but kicked the bucket. And he had a wife. He had a wife who was, in my opinion, rubbish. And so she was like, yeah, we're staying down here because we want to have all the slaves because I'm a terrible person. So she was down here. So Dred Scott was like, dude, I've been free every time I visit up here. Why am I not free here? Like if you literally cross the line, you're a slave now, right? And so that was the big issue here. So that's why they're suing. He's suing to say, I think if I've made it to a free state, I should be free. I shouldn't be back into slavery if I go up over this state line. All right. So that's kind of the big whoop-de-doo on that one. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. This is a tough one, everybody. This is really difficult for everyone, in my opinion, when we see, how awful the history is here. But it is history. So, again, and you can't learn about the United States without learning about slavery. It's just not, it just doesn't work. So, because it's such a huge piece that it's basically woven into almost every single day, in my humble opinion. So here's another map where we've got the Kansas-Nebraska act. Here we go. So Nebraska's up here. That's not right at all. So, but that's what it is at the moment. And then the Minnesota territory here. These, again, have not been statified yet. So Nebraska and Kansas, and I think both of them wanted to be free states. Is that right? See, these are sovereign territories here. Like, I don't know, what would we say? Like Greenland. You just can't go in and take it because it belongs to somebody else. So here they are. But then Kansas and Nebraska are like, we want to join. And so then, of course, the question becomes, well, are you a free state or are you a slave state? And at that point, it was like, this isn't working. And so again, we're on the path to civil war here. Wanting to be free, of course. Kansas is split, right? To swing one way or the other. Absolutely. Absolutely. If I were Greenland, I would not want to join America. Well, and I keep thinking to myself, like, how hard is the Greenland bar? That's what I keep thinking. I'm like, can I just hide under a coat and go take the bar exam? I'll even wear a wig. I don't care. But on the other hand, when I see the people in Greenland being interviewed, they're like, this is BS. They want to come over, that's fine. But, we'll take care of business when they get here. Oh, my gosh. They have universal health care under Denmark, right? I'm with you. It's possible. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, yes, there's plenty of support. So we'll watch that. But anyway, so back to, again, and why this is so important on Martin Luther King Jr.'s celebratory day, right? To remember. So anyway, they went back and forth. He's like, dude, I've been free. Why can't I be free again? And then the court's like, meh. Then they set up basically everything for Plessy versus Ferguson. Now, Plessy versus Ferguson is the case that establishes segregation, right? The term separate but equal is going to come in the beginning parts of the Dred Scott case, right? So the court uses this case as a way to justify the Plessy case. Now, I will be doing the Plessy case on another day, but they go hand in hand, even though it's decades later. They go together. Because you didn't give me a Nobel Prize. I can't with this fella. I'm trying so hard, but he's just ridiculous. Oh, all right. So let's get in. That was the summary up here. You can read if you're interested in it. There's a lot there. I did go through that already, so I'm going to start here with the opinion itself. So again, Chief Justice Taney delivered the opinion of the court. Now, Taney's a bad person. He's a bad man. And if you look into his history, what you will see from both sides is he's a bad person. All right. He's bad. And it's a moral issue. Like, he's morally bad. There is a lot of things that he did that caused a lot of people harm. And I mean, this opinion's just one of them, but he's a bad man. He's the Chief Justice. He wrote the opinion here. Oh, nice dance trophies. Well, I'm sure a lot of people wonder where to keep those. Why not send them to the White House? Go for it. I was wondering about that too. VC, I'm like, well, what about all of your golf tournament prizes? You got to take another one? I mean, what is he, like 5? Come on, man. Like, no, that's somebody else's. You can't have that one. Okay, back into it. So here's the decision beginning. Before that was a summary, and then here we go. So again, this Chief Justice is just an awful person. And you think of all of the harm that someone can do to someone else during this time period, and he did it. So just leaving it like that. This case has been twice argued. After the argument at the last term, differences of opinion were found to exist among the members of the court. And as the questions in controversy are of the highest importance, and the court was at this time much pressed by the ordinary business of the term. Let's just underline this. He's saying, we're really busy. We got too much stuff to go on. We can't deal with your slave issue, right? No, we're too pressed by ordinary business to deal with a case of this magnitude of the term. It was deemed advisable to continue the case and direct a re-argument on some of the points in order that we might have an opportunity of giving to the whole subject a more deliberate consideration. It has accordingly been again argued by counsel and considered by the court, and now I proceed to deliver its opinion. Right. So, we're gonna go through now. Questions in our case pop up here, and then he will go through and explain. There are 2 leading questions presented by the record. Number 1, had the Circuit Court of the United States jurisdiction to hear and determine the case between these parties? And 2, if it had jurisdiction, is the judgment it has given erroneous or not? Right? So here's our jurisdiction question. Do they have jurisdiction? And if they do, was their decision wrong? The plaintiff in error, that would be Mr. Scott, who was also the plaintiff in the court below, was, with his wife and children, held as slaves by the defendant in the state of Missouri. And he brought this action in the Circuit Court of the United States for that district to assert the title of himself and his family to freedom. So he wanted a ruling like, we're free. We should be recognized as free. The declaration is in the form usually adopted in that state to try questions of this description and contains the averment necessary to give the court jurisdiction. That he and the defendant are citizens of different states, that is, that he is a citizen of Missouri and the defendant a citizen of New York. Right, the defendant pleaded in abatement to the jurisdiction of the court that the plaintiff was not a citizen of the state of Missouri, as alleged in his declaration, being a person of African descent whose ancestors were of pure African blood and who were brought into this country and sold as slaves. I hate these people. Did they have district court then? So they did. They had a Supreme Court that was pretty lean, but it was there. And this case, unlike the X-Ray Merriman case, which was kind of weird because he wrote that decision as a circuit judge, I believe. I don't want to mix those two cases up, but yeah, what horrible. Well, right. Thinking, well, exactly. He's like, yeah, I'm all right. Because why? And this is what I think is so important to remember here. Why is because these people in the United States voted for slavery. That's what they wanted, these people here. All right. These people here voted for a free state right here. So, in California over here, right? That's a long journey. But the point is, if there was an election, say, which there was, well, there were a couple, and you were here, you voted for the slavery. And if there was one here in the red part, you voted for freedom. So it is a democracy, but sometimes democracies lead to bad choices. See what I'm saying here, everybody? See what I'm saying? Now, a lot of things changed. A lot of things have changed, where none of the states are the same as they were in 1854. But that's when you're trying to say the entire United States voted a certain way. No, that's not possible. No, not possible. So I think it's important we remember that as we go through this. All right, here we go. Oh, let me make sure I have it here. All right, here we are. At least they're not public. Well, right. Oh, thanks, Gen X. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. I think I made it to this paragraph, right? Well, we'll go through it again. Oh, nope, here we go. We stopped. I gave myself little symbols so I know where we stopped. Okay. To this plea, the plaintiff demurred, and the defendant joined in demur. The court overruled the plea and gave judgment that the defendant should answer over, and he thereupon put in sundry pleas in bar, upon which issues were joined. And at the trial, the verdict and judgments were in his favor, whereupon the plaintiff brought this writ of error. Before we speak of the pleas in the bar, it will be proper to dispose of the questions which have arisen on the plea in abatement. So again, we're talking different jurisdictions, different requirements here as we're going through it. So that's why the language is like, what? It's kind of a weird one. Oh my gosh, go live Vegas. I tell you what, I need to. Oh, thanks so much. Jamaican, Peruvian. I do have to admit, and I didn't want to really say anything, but I'm out of paper clips. This is not, oh no, not sponsored, not sponsored. No, I'm gonna get kicked. I am out of paper clips. So if anyone wants to send me, 50 cents for some paper clips, that's fine. I watched a part of Johnny's life today, right? Don't blame me. I know, I can't even. She needs gifts for paper clips. Oh my gosh, Erin, but it's so true. Oh my gosh. We love the TikTok shop, and everything here you can get through that. All right, we're going to wait a couple minutes here because I'm going to get a tag. I mean, I'm not going to literally wait, but I'll be watching. Don't give me a flag. All right. So before we speak of the pleas at bar, at issue, we've got to dispose of the questions, is what he's saying. Again, the Chief Justice, right? So for staples, true, but I don't want to show my stapler. If I had to pick, I would choose paper clips over staplers, but whatever. Here we go. Therein stated, if the question raised by it is legally before us, and the court should be of opinion that the facts stated in it disqualify the plaintiff from becoming a citizen in the sense in which that word is used in the Constitution of the United States, then the judgment of the circuit court is erroneous and must be reversed. So this particular paragraph, everybody, I think is so important because this is something that I would look at when I'm thinking about the Chief Justice. John Roberts, of course, here, because it's like, whoa, this is how everything has to go just perfectly. And then I would also say Gorsuch would be in here. That's really, I'm going to spell his name wrong, but that's fine. That's really who this paragraph reminds me of. Like, I know it's not great and some people aren't going to like it, but that's too bad because I'm looking 200 years in the history and then we'll decide it, right? Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the special case already. Whoa. Well, yeah, it's a good question, Michael. I'm not sure, but I bet there's a good one out there somewhere. Okay, it is suggested, however, that this plea is not before us and that the judgment in the court below on his plea was in favor of the plaintiff. He does not seek to reverse it or bring it before the court for revision by his writ of error, and also that the defendant waived this defense by pleading over and thereby admitted the jurisdiction of the court. So if you want your jurisdiction question to help get your case out of court, you need to actually plead it, is what's going on here. Oh, really? All right. Well, didn't we have is it the Dred Pirate Roberts that was in the Princess Bride? Is that right? It can be cool. It can be a cool last name. Moving on quickly. Here we go. Quickly moving. Tappers on. Okay, see, that dude was cool, right? Yes. Oh my gosh. All right, back up. Here we go. But in making this objection, right? Having a hard time. The squirrels are everywhere. In making this objection, we think that the peculiar and limited jurisdiction of the courts of the United States has not been adverted to. This particular and limited jurisdiction has made it necessary in these courts to adopt different rules and principles of pleading, so far as jurisdiction is concerned, from those who regulate courts of common law in England and in the different states of the Union, which have adopted the common law rules. Now, I will stop us here. Again, we're going to be going through a jurisdiction later because of the Plessy case and so on. Here. Let me make sure here. Right. All right. Common law here. All right. We're fast forwarding now. This is where I had my notes. So let's pass through more of that discussion on jurisdiction. Here. This is certainly, and we have two actually, this is certainly a very serious question, and one that now for the first time has been brought for decision before this court, but it's been brought here by those who have a right to bring it, and it is our duty to meet it and decide it. The question is simply this: can a person of color whose ancestors are imported into this country and sold as slaves become a member of the political community formed and brought into existence by the Constitution of the United States, and as such become entitled to all the rights and privileges and immunities guaranteed by that instrument to the citizen, one of which rights is the privilege of suing the court of the United States in the cases specified in the Constitution. Oh my goodness. All right, one more paragraph here. It will be observed that the plea applies to that class of persons only whose ancestors were people of color from the African race and imported. They used imported again, everybody. I'm sorry. They used it again. Big jerks. Oh, we got to 100K. Oh, wonderful K. Okay. Let me finish our paragraph here, and then we're going to jump over into today. Oh, I'm so excited. Today's really cool. All right. Where was I? I was in the racism, right. Imported into the country and sold and held as slaves. The only matter in issue before the court, therefore, is whether the descendants of such slaves, when they shall be emancipated, or who are born of parents who have been free, have become free before their birth, are citizens of the state, in the sense in which the word citizen is used in the Constitution of the United States, and this being the only matter in dispute on the pleadings. Here, the court must be understood as speaking in this opinion of that class only, that is, of those persons who are descendants of Africans who were imported into this country and sold as slaves. So that's awful. All right, I'm just making a little note. We're stopping here. That's awful. One of the reasons why I think it's really good, though, for us to go through this case and the other cases, even though it's awful, it's part of our heritage. Just own it. It's like, this is just part of our heritage here as Americans. But the other thing, too, is that, and I truly believe this, the Wong Kim Ark case, which I do have on our list to read here, and it's not this huge. Dred Scott's enormous. The Dred Scott case is absolutely enormous. But they've already referred to the Dred Scott case multiple times in their filings. This administration has already referred to the issue of citizenship in this case, in the Dred Scott case. So I think it's important to have some idea of what's going on here, as well as learning history. All right, 100,000, everybody. 100,000, woohoo. Oh, it's Asian. I love it. All right, so I'm going to just put this here and then grab our bonus case for today. The Dred Scott case is going to take us some time because it's so disturbing. It's hard to do the full analysis in just one go because it's just so awful that we don't want to get somewhere where, you know, we're having nightmares again. Even though we are. All right, hold on. Here we go. Where did I put my stuff? All right. So here's. Didn't I? I know I already pulled that. All right, hold on. I put it at the edge so I know exactly where it was. And then now I'm like, well, where did I put it? All right, hold on. Here's Plessy, Youngstown. We don't want that one. Where is it? Didn't I just print it? I just printed it. Oh, is this it? All right, let's look and see. Oh my gosh, I printed it and then I put a whole bunch of crap on top of it. All right. So I don't have a picture, unfortunately. I feel bad about that, but just did not have a good way to get a picture. But let's look at what we have here. I'm so excited. Mine are getting boring. Well, I think it's okay. Oh, absolutely, Blue Horizon, and I will continue to. That one just needs a little bit at a time to make it through. All right, look at what we have here, everybody. Now, this isn't a full lawsuit, but this is, in my opinion, is something that's incredibly special anyway. So, everybody knows Harriet Tubman, right? Harriet Tubman, an amazing woman, nurse, assisted the military during times in which they needed to be assisted, right? So when it came to slavery and those questions. Now, Miss Harriet Tubman, quite the character. She's like, dude, I didn't get paid for my help with the military. Like, I did a lot of stuff. I was a nurse. I helped the people. I did all kinds of things to help you. I'm going to need some money. And I respect that so much. Oh, I respect that so much. So she didn't file a lawsuit because she's like, that's rubbish. I'm not going to do that. But she sent letters to Congress and various people and said, look, here's my war record, literally my war record, and I'm going to be needing some money here to pay for the hard work that she did during this period of time. So I've got a couple of letters here from various people discussing this issue of Harriet Tubman being paid. So let's take a look here. I know. Right. Exactly. So we have a report here that has been, let's see, let me make sure I've got my dates. So this one is 1898, and it's Committee on Merchant Marine and Fisheries, House of Representatives, February 5th, 1898. So the chairman of Invalid Pensions. So she's like, hi, pension time. They're like, So I'm trying to find the letter. Hold on just a second. I'm looking for the letter that she wrote that I needed to have here. So hold on just a moment. All right. Okay, we'll start here then, and then we'll head over here to the bill. All right, here is, here's the bill. So this, again, we're old school in it. This was all because she was like just talking to people. She was like, look, I'm here and we need to talk. And that's how it was done. And she was so well respected by all sides that she was able to do a lot of it. Hi, Crafty. Hi. I've been doing a lot of lives lately, so I'm not really sure. All right, H.R. 4982 out of the 55th Congress in the House of Representatives, December 14th, 1897. Mr. Payne introduced the following bill, which was referred to the Committee of Invalid Pensions. I know it's invalid, but I'm just going to say invalid pensions and ordered to be printed. Oh, I crack myself up. All right. Sorry about that. Gotta take a moment to laugh at yourself, people. So here we go. January 10th of 1899, reported with an amendment committed to the committee of the White House and ordered to be printed. Oh my gosh. Oh, America was designed by white Christians. Oh, that's adorable. Oh, that's adorable. Don't forget to make your little pilgrims and such at Thanksgiving, okay? A bill granting a pension to Harriet Tubman Davis, late a nurse in the United States Army. So here we go. Literal piece of legislation for Harriet Tubman. So be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives in the United States of America, in Congress assembled, that the Secretary of the Interior be and he is hereby authorized and directed to place upon the pension roll of the United States the name of Harriet Tubman Davis, late a nurse in the United States Army, and pay her a pension at the rate of $25 per month in lieu of all other pensions. Amend the title so as to read, quote, a bill granting an increase of pension to Harriet Tubman Davis. What? That's crazy. I mean, how amazing is that? At this time, again, it's going to be very difficult for her to bring a lawsuit. But nobody said anything about asking Congress. All right, let's make sure I got my dates sorted. So this one is 1898. And this one is, fast forward here. All right, this is the next piece, I believe. Dear Sir. Hold on here a second, everybody. I gotta make sure I got the right piece. Okay. Okay. Let's do this one, and then we'll do this one. All right, because they're both sent in to support her. All right, here we go. We're going to the Committee of Invalid Pensions. And this, don't get me wrong, this was written here by this Payne fella. All right, so representative, I think. I don't think he was a senator. So here we go. $25 a month. Well, I mean, it's double digits. Congress assemble when used a lot. Yeah, I agree. Oh, 976 today. That's tough. For a monthly budget, especially if you've got kids. Although we don't know if she had kids or not. That was rude. She was married, but I don't know if she has children. I guess I was just hoping she had children. Because she's amazing and we need that DNA. We need the amazing DNA. Dear Sir, again, this is Payne who's writing this. I hand you, here we go. I hand you herewith papers in the claim of Harriet Tubman Davis, a bill for the relief of, I can't read that, before your committee. Mrs. Davis is now receiving a pension at $8 per month. Whoa, that would be a huge raise. $8 per month as widow of her husband. Here we go. Claim for increase is because of her own personal services to the war, in the war. She was employed as a nurse and cook in the hospital and a spy, because you just put that in here, everybody. You just put that in a document in a letter you're sending to somebody, right? So and a spy during nearly the whole period of the war. I know her personally, and she is a most interesting old woman of color. I should judge nearly 80 years of age, having been born a slave, and she does not know her age, and about the year 1876 as well as prior thereto. A bill for her relief went to the Committee on War Claims, and all her papers, copies of which are presented herewith, were referred to that committee by General McDougall, who then represented our district in Congress. The history of her case was written up by Charles P. Wood. I think he's somebody's unalive, of Auburn, New York, and is presented herewith. That's a lot. Her affidavit is also presented as to the truth of the history written out by Mr. Wood. For all her services, she only received about $200 during the entire war. She rendered very valuable aid, as the letters, copies of which are herewith presented, will show. I am told by General McDougall that he filed the originals of these papers, and he believes the account of her services is correct. It seems to be a very deserving case. I thought it much better to introduce a bill for the increase of her pension, that she might have the enjoyment of it during the remainder of her life, which certainly in the course of nature cannot last long. Ouch! I can't say that. I'm not supposed to say that. Yeah. All right. Instead of asking a lump sum and trying to get it in as a claim on account of money equity due to her money accutably, I can't read that word. There's part of it missing. Due her from the government for services. I think her case is exactly parallel to one passed in the House yesterday for a war nurse increasing her pension, although the case of Mrs. Davis seems to me much stronger. If this case can have the early attention of the committee, I shall be very such gratified. And then signed by Payne. So we've got Congressperson, Mr. Payne, trying to help her get a higher pension, right? And rightfully so. I mean, my goodness gracious, that seems pretty low to me. But you know, what do I know? All right, so that's that one. We have here a report, and this report is accompanying the HR here, the House resolution. So this is what they added with the House resolution. Did I have a sticky note up here, everybody? Do we need a sticky note? I mean, it says what it is here, but let me know. Is a sticky note needed? Or not? Pension should be taxed when already taxed. All right. Weird. All right. Yeah. So the question before. Okay, we're good. Thanks, Carol. Thank you so much. All right. No sticky needed. All right. Oops. One. Well, it's 2 to 3. So we'll do some quick math because I can't. I can't do any less. All right. So here we go. It does say it here, though, in case people are wondering. So here's our report. Mr. Shoup from the Committee on Pensions submitted the following. All right. So Mr. Shoup is writing this one. Here's the report to accompany the House bill. The Committee on Pensions, to whom was referred the bill that we just went through, granting a pension to Harriet Tubman Davis, have examined the same and report. The report of the Committee on Invalid Pensions of the House of Representatives is as follows. It's not ever not funny. Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah, it's still not much, is it? All right, here we go. I had to put my other glasses on. Though effect of this bill is to increase from $8 to $25 per month, the pension of this beneficiary, Harriet T. Davis of Auburn, New York. Mrs. Davis is the widow of Nelson Davis, who served under the name of Nelson Charles as a private in Company G, 8th United States Colored Infantry from September 25th of 1863 to November 10th of 1865, yikes, and was honorably discharged. She also served long and faithfully as an Army nurse. Soldier died October 14th of 1888, and the widow filed a claim as such July 24th of 1890 under the Act of June 27th, 1890, and is now pensioned under said Act at $8 per month. Gosh, it's not very much. It is not shown that the soldier's unalive was due to his military service. It is showing, however, by evidence filed with this committee, that the claimant was sent to the front by Governor Andrew and acted as a nurse and a cook in the hospital and a spy during the whole period of the war. The following is a copy of the letter from Secretary Seward here. So, my goodness, this is just, I know, right? All right, so let's dive in here just a little bit. We've got 1865 here again. 1864 was the end of the war, technically, although there were places and plantations and locations where people did not know the war was over yet. All right. That's not cool, people. All right. My dear sir, Harriet Tubman, a colored woman, I hate that word, has been nursing our soldiers during nearly all the war. She believed she has claims for faithful service to the command in South Carolina, with which you are connected, and she believes you would be disposed to see her claim justly settled. I've known her for as long as a noble high spirit, as true as seldom dwells in the human form. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I commend her, therefore, to your kind attention. Faithfully your friend, William Seward. That was really nice. That was like really cool. Too sweet. Well, we'll see. This is like 1800s, so Major General Hunter, Governor Rufus Saxton, in a letter referring to Mrs. Tubman, says, quote, she was employed by General Hunter, and I think both by Generals Stephens and Sherman, and is as deserving of a pension from the government for her service as any other of its faithful servants. In a letter to Brigadier General Gilmore from headquarters, Colored Brigade, Helena Island, South Carolina, July 6th of 1863, Colonel James Montgomery, commanding brigade, and said, I would respectfully recommend to your attention Miss Harriet Tubman, a most remarkable woman, invaluable as a scout. Can you believe that? I think that's some serious, at the time this was done, like all the military peoples are like, she was amazing. Like, that's really cool, man. Okay. All right, so that was the set of letters. Now let's look. I do actually have the affidavit. Affidavit, right? I said that right. But I don't have a translation here, which I'm really bummed about. And I was looking for it, but I just couldn't find it. So we'll just have to take a peek at what this is. So we've got a general affidavit here. And let's see. All right, so, well, maybe I can. My claim against the U.S. is for something for these great services. I don't know what it says. As a nurse and as, what'd she say? Again, sorry, everybody, I don't have the translation in here. I claim for my services about, and then that's it. Anyway, so she wrote and said, dude, I need more money and I deserve it. And she did deserve it, everyone. She certainly did. And so we come up here. Her book, really, that's interesting. I heard there was like a movie out too. I think I missed that. I wonder, it might have come out just like at the same time as the Panini, right? All right, so next, and the last piece then that we will take a look at, right? Because it all went through. So 55th Congress of the United States of America at the third session. Let's just double check here. The original one introduced the bill, which was referred to the committee here, January 19th of 1899, reported with an amendment. So here, where's our date on here? I don't see a date. Oh, 1899 on this one, but this one was in February. Is that right? February? So she won. Here's the bottom line. She won. And then here's the piece. An act granting an increased pension to Harriet Tubman Davis. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that the Secretary of the Interior be and he is hereby authorized to and directed to place on the pension roll, subject to the provisions and limitations of the pension laws, the name of Harriet Tubman Davis, widow of Nelson Davis, late a private in Company G, 8th Regiment here, 8th Regiment, United States Colored Infantry, and pay her a pension at the rate of $20 per month. In lieu of that, she is now receiving. And then we've got multiple signatures here. So when we look at it, we've got the Speaker of the House of Representatives signing, and then pro tempore or Vice President here, I guess. Pro tempore, you're not important. Just the Vice President signed here. All right. So just Hakshi, if you have time, sent you a message a while ago, if it's okay. Yeah, ding me again. If you, and that goes for anybody. If you sent me a question and I haven't been able to get to it, what happens is I get so many and then it gets buried. And then I'm like, what? Who was asking me again? So the best way to bring it to the top is to just remind me. And I won't be mad. I won't be like, how dare you? No, I'll be like, yeah, I forgot. Oh, okay. I will accept, Michael. I will accept. All right. Let me make sure I put this on here. Accept. All right. So here we go. I've written it down, and that means then it's forever. They docketed her $5. Why? That I don't know. But she was to get a raise to 20. And that's how that went. Yes, off you go, Michael. Good luck to you in your journey. Again, just to take a minute, I really feel like my own personal take, I think Martin Luther King Jr., amazing, and worldwide amazing. And the work that he did, and took the inspiration and handed it off to generations behind him. I think that's fabulous. But I also think we mustn't ever forget the ladies, right? It's just like crucial that we remember the ladies that were here along this road as well. So, Harriet Tubman, of course, an amazing person, but there are a ton of other amazing women too, like Sojourner Truth. She was amazing as well. So take a look in there. Take a look also to see what Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife did, because she wasn't just taking care of their kids at home, although they did have multiple children at home that needed to be taken care of, but that wasn't her only role. Right? So she also has an interesting story. So on today, we're like, yay, civil rights. I mean, those of us that are normal. But again, with civil rights, we have to remember the ladies as well. Yes, Marian Anderson. That probably caught grief for speaking up to her. Oh, I think so, VC, for speaking up for her. Yes. Oh my gosh. And Tracy, oh my gosh, your comment's so important here. So Black women did a lot for this country and never received credit. That is so stinking true. That's just so stinking true. And, it's just so true. It really is. So we must remember that. Oh, really? Okay. I'll have to take a look at that, the Josiah Henson story. Interesting. I'll have to give that a go as I look through my stuff. So, all right, everyone. With that, that's our lunch and learn that almost turned into a dinner and learn. And good times. I will see if I can come back on later tonight. I'd like to. I do have another couple of things here to share, and then also to see what's going on in the courts today, to sing in front of the Lincoln Memorial. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Oh, we love it. So hopefully, again, I will be back later today. Of course, we have the 2 Minnesota cases running at full blast. So if I am able to come back on, I will most likely be going through the class action that they're trying to put together for Minnesota, as well as the lawsuit Minnesota has filed. All right. Oh, thanks, Craig. Thank you. So wishing you all a wonderful day. Hopefully this was interesting and, a little different spin on an American hero, which I think is always fun. So take care, everybody, and I'll catch you all later.